Hello and welcome. As usual, we are supporting Liberty Foodbank this year for Christmas. And the reason is they're a very, very special charity and they're looking after lots of people that can't afford to feed themselves this Christmas. So I'd like to introduce you to them in their home environment, and you can see what a wonderful bunch of people they are. And we'll talk a little bit about the food bank, how you can help, and what is going on this Christmas. So first of all, let's introduce you to the people in charge. First of all, Dr. Kerr.
Hi, my name is Kevin Kerr and I'm the senior pastor of this great ministry, serving this community.
Look forward to talking to you. And of course,
I'm Anne-Marie Lawrence and I look after the clinic, the food bank clinic and the advisory clinic as well. I'm also one of the pastors here.
Fantastic, thank you. So we're in good company, and I think what we really wanted to talk about, and I think the important subject here is how, in my mind's eye, I find it quite heartbreaking, first of all, how many people have to use your services. But we had a story recently that I'm not going to recount in detail, but basically somebody that I know used your services, and I actually found that they were totally humbled by how they were treated. Your staff treated them with such dignity that it was such a beautiful thing, and made me realise how important the services that you provide are. They actually ended up collapsing and being caught by your guys and then comforted while your guys went round, got some food for them, and it was just a fantastic thing. What a lot of people don't know is how little support you guys get for what you do. So could we talk a little bit about how you are financed, first of all, Dr. Kerr?
Sure. We are 100% financed by ourselves. We're self-funded. Unfortunately, for some reason, we hardly get any support from the government whatsoever. We have applied on many, many occasions. And unfortunately, the funding pool has significantly reduced since the onset of COVID back in 2019. There are so many charities now that are applying for funds that just aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
The funds have reduced so much. So you've got so many big fishes in a very, very small pond applying for finances. So it's very difficult for a smaller, as you mentioned earlier, charitable food bank like ourselves to get funding, especially the larger amounts, because you've got massive conglomerates now that are taking over some of the major food banks, and they automatically get the funding, and we're left on the side of the riverbank.
And this doesn't help the people in Norbury that get no help from the larger food banks that don't exist in our area, does it? And this is one of the big problems. Pastor Anne-Marie, I know that you've been very involved and been helping us to raise funds and raise the profile of the food bank. One of the things that really surprised me was that local supermarkets don't support this charity at all. And not only that, don't seem prepared to, which I find absolutely extraordinary, because I'm sure they would find, as I do, that you raise the profile of your own business while doing some good at the same time. So I find it very confusing. What do you think?
I have to agree with that. I won't name them, but I recently wrote to the supermarket that we actually get our goods from. I think we spent about £25,000 since we actually relaunched in August 2023. Yeah. I've not heard a dicky bird from them saying if they could support us or if there's any way that they could actually help us, because that's a lot of money, of quite a considerable amount of money over that time for people to keep giving and giving and giving. Yeah. So, but I've had no response at all. We're on so many lists. Again, I won't name the organisations to actually get funding or actually be provided food. Yeah. And they just say, well, there's a waiting list.
Yeah. Well, I was saying earlier on, I actually approached one of the local supermarkets, which will remain nameless as well, and they were explaining to me how they threw away food within date, but that they couldn't supply it to a food bank for insurance reasons. Now, this was only a junior member of staff I was speaking to. I intend to escalate this inquiry. But again, it just shocks me. And what shocks me most of all is that this charity survives on financial donations, and that's what makes this thing work. And that restores my faith in the human nature of some for the financial amounts of money that I know that many of your congregation and many of the people of Norbury are giving to make this thing work. But it just seems really the wrong way around when there are supermarkets with surplus stock and you're going out paying full price for food. Something's gone wrong somewhere, hasn't it, Dr. Kerr?
Definitely. I mentioned earlier during our private conversation that we apparently throw away 40% of all the food that we purchase. So, for example, if you buy a packet of 10 apples, you're going to throw away 4 of them. Wow. And the supermarkets are worse. They throw away up to 50% of their daily stock intake. That's delivered by van, by articulated lorry or whatever source. They throw away up to 50% every day. They have massive dumpers at the back of their supermarkets. And there's a new phenomenon, they're called freegans. I don't like the terminology, but they're called freegans. And they would ask security if they could enter into the waste disposal area and just take food. And there have been stories of freegans getting fresh meat that, as you mentioned, has not passed its sell-by date yet. They're getting fresh bread, all dumped in the bin. Now, we have paid, as Pastor Anne said, £25,000 since we opened up on brand new food items. Why don't they either give away the food that they're going to throw away or at a heavily reduced price?
Agreed.
I don't understand, Ken, I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I don't either. And I also, I'd like to think that some businesses that perhaps watch this in Norbury might similarly do something for you to help support what is a fantastic charity. And as I say, it's quite humbling having seen somebody have to use its services. It brings it all into a harsh reality and makes you realise how important what you do is. What a positive, that's the other thing I must say, what a positive bunch of people these are. Whenever I come in here, everyone's smiling, everyone's positive, and I know that those people that are coming in here struggling, that are embarrassed to be here in the first place, must really feel better when they leave here than they did when they arrived. Not because they've got a bag of food, but because of the dignity and the kindness with which you guys treat them, which is amazing. Now, just on to the appeal, the reason we're doing this interview is that we want your money. Yes, indeed, we want your money. You know why? You know why we want your money? We want your money because we are looking to feed people this Christmas. Right. We're raising money. We've managed so far to raise £1,330. Wow. We have a target of £2,500, which we will hit with your help.
Yes.
Please give generously. To give you some perspective, it costs £35 to feed a person for a week, including Christmas dinner. So that's why we're asking for this amount of money, because it's going to make sure that every person that visits the Liberty Food Bank this Christmas gets a week shopping whilst it's closed over the Christmas period, plus a lovely Christmas dinner. Yes. What better thing could there be to give to than that? And the beautiful thing about giving to a local charity is, you know, it's going directly to local people. So please give generously. Do look out for the Just Giving page. We will put a link on the end of this video as well. Donations are welcome at the Liberty Food Bank. Non-perishable items, please. We do have a list which we can also put up, and you're also welcome to drop them into our shop, James Alexander Estate Agents, where we will bring them to the food bank if you can't quite make it to the food bank. How can we encourage these people to give? Pastor Anne-Marie,
just to say a very big thank you to everybody that's already donated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you see the figure go up on the Just Giving page, so thank you very much. And that you will make a difference to people's lives. I spoke to one woman this morning and she said they can't believe that they'll be getting something for Christmas. So,
that's beautiful.
Keep up with the giving. So thank you, everybody. It's really appreciated.
Thank you. Yeah. And Dr. Kerr, I think as far as the appeal's concerned, is there any message you'd like to get out there to people that have given so far?
I just want to say thank you very much to all those that have taken some time out and donated to us, whether it's been food items or a financial donation. And remember, we're only one paycheck away from possible homelessness. And the Bible says, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So remember, it may be, God forbid, you one day, and we may have to help you. So consider others. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. It's great speaking to you, and I hope we raise lots of money for the charity. Please give generously, and remember, the food bank is here to help those most in need, and you can help them with a small donation. And every little helps. So even if it's a little, that's perfectly okay with us. We'd be grateful for anything that you feel comfortable giving. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bless you.